What is up, comic fans, and welcome to the Legion of Comics. I'm Mark, and today is Tuesday. That means it's part one of the two-part event every week known as New Comic Book Day. If you're so lucky to get your DC stuff on Tuesday, congratulations. If not, don't go anywhere. We're not spoiling anything today. We're just going to be looking at what's coming out and just comic news in general and just kind of hanging out for a little bit, as well as doing an Acetate-Gate giveaway before this is all over to commemorate all the BS that's gone on with this stupid C2E2 exclusive and all the drama around it. We're going to turn it into a positive thing and get some amazing acetates that are actually approved into some fans' hands today. So don't go anywhere. Check this out. While we're doing this, go ahead and hit that thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. Let's give Big Time Collectibles a huge thank you for sponsoring the channel and the monthly Legion loot box for the channel member giveaway. And if you need anything cleaned or pressed, hit up our friend Justin on Instagram. Use the promo code WeAreLegion, and you can get a discount on your order with him. His information, as well as Big Time Collectible, is linked in all the description to my video, so you can find them straight down there. And I also want to give a big shout out and thank you to my LCS, the Augusta Book Exchange, where I pick up my new comic books every week. You'll find no better customer service anywhere. All right, so let's go and bring in the co-host for today. We're joined by the always amazing 50% of the Bada Boom podcast, Mr. Flo himself. What is going on, my friend?
What is up? Best day of the week.
It is. And dude, what a great way to lead into it with y'all dropping that awesome episode yesterday on the podcast, which is now available on even more platforms. You want to tell everyone about that real quick?
Yeah, for sure. Yesterday we, which seems to be the subject of a lot of our episodes these days, DC's kind of all over the place plans. We just dropped that episode. It's on YouTube, so look up Bada Boom Podcast. Also, it's on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, also on Anchor. So basically, wherever you'd like your podcast.
Yeah, so I was super, I've talked to you since y'all really got this thing kickstarted and everything, and I had to go back and re-download Spotify to listen and to keep up with it, because it's just not a platform that I'm around for, if that makes any sense. You know, like I'd love to go listen and support things, but I'm very one track with stuff just how busy I am. So now that y'all have moved it over to make it accessible on YouTube, it made it so convenient. The moment that I saw that an episode dropped, I'm like, boom, and I was on it. It just seemed super convenient. So I know a lot. I'm not the only person that's like that. It's kind of a hound to their regular what would it be, their comings and goings.
Creatures of habit, you know. If you listen to there's podcasts, like for example, I used to listen to the Joe Rogan one, but once I got off YouTube, the newer episodes, I just lost. I stopped listening to it.
Dude, I fell asleep last night listening to the Joe Rogan Randall Carlson episode again, like with him and Graham Hancock. There's like numerous episodes with them, so there's at least 20 hours of podcasts with them going over that deep history content, which I love. So I just revisit some of those old episodes. And I even notice how they're steadily decreasing the catalog on there. Like it's becoming just shorts and everything. I think they're really pushing everyone over to the Spotify end. It's just not the same though. It's not the same.
It isn't. And also I think like part of like the beauty of YouTube is its algorithm. So sometimes like even when you miss a notification, it may remind you in a way like, hey, like this is still going on.
Well, it's not just the algorithm, it's also the ability to participate, because you might not be there at the podcast or at y'all's podcast, but now that y'all are on YouTube, I'm able to do what I wanted to do every time I listen on Spotify, and I'm able to grab my phone and drop comments as I'm listening and interject my opinion or my take or ask for feedback, and y'all are able to now bounce stuff and opinions and stuff off the people listening now. So that gives y'all access to us and us access to y'all, which I think is fantastic.
Yeah, it's fun. So, you know, hopefully now we're in a good rhythm. So we'll probably expand more into like a video aspect. And right now it's just the audio. So thank you for the support. And the more, you know, you guys listen, the more we can do.
Absolutely. So let's get into it. I do want to start this off, taking it right back up to our first comment. We got the, I can't tell from the StreamYard end if that's the Batman custom emoji for the channel members or what that is, but Acetate UF4. It's more accurate to seeing Batman acetate, because that's what we're going to be rocking today. These are official acetates, one being of Batman issue 125, is it? The first issue of the Chip Zdarsky run, that amazing virgin acetate, as well as the brand new Deceased War of the Undead Gods #1 Kale New acetate cover. Both of those will be given away today to the live audience. So don't go anywhere. Be sure to enter that before it's all said and done. But we're going to get into it. Flo, what's on your pool list for this week? What are you picking up?
Well, I actually picked up a couple things. Some things I read digitally, and also my shop doesn't open on Tuesdays, so I have to get everything from them on Wednesdays. So for the show, I ran over to Midtown Comics to pick up some things I really wanted that I know aren't on my pull, which was Dark Crisis, World Without a Justice League, the Green Lantern. So you have Philip Kennedy Johnson. There's a backup story of Hawkgirl with Jeremy Adams, who's writing The Flash, and also Flashpoint. I had to get this DC's body bag cover. I know you opened yours.
We're going to talk about that before it's over. We'll know what's inside one of those. If you're in the audience and you're wondering what's inside this exclusive body bag, poly bag for Deceased, we're going to crack one today and check it out.
And then also this free Sandman promotional comic book, which makes me a little sad because, you know, it has Sandman and then it has the Black Label logo there, and I'm like, oh man, they should have just brought back the Vertigo one just for this promotional comic.
Yeah, I wonder what the deal with that is. I think they would gain a lot of steam bringing back the Vertigo imprint as well as the Elseworlds imprint, because there's a lot of just nostalgia with both of those.
It has to be something legal with it. They're like, they probably don't make enough money, or they just like, hey, if we slowly just call this DC but Black Label, it, you know, I don't know.
I wonder if they just, because they had really stopped doing them, you know, before they didn't like they just switched over to Black Label. They just kind of, you know, had like the New 52 era and just didn't do it. I guess it was just a new branding thing. You know, let's try this, and it's working. I mean, Black Label stuff seems well enough, especially on the content and quality end of it. That's right, the body bag, poly bag edition. So Deceased War of the Gods dropped today, and they have a GCPD Coroner body bag edition. How they do these special poly bags, you can see the poly bag seam down the middle there. It says GCPD Coroner, and it's got all the details on it right there. And then on the back side of it, it actually has a zipper, which is pretty wicked.
Yeah, here's the zipper.
So there's a closer look at it there. So we can kick this off talking a little Deceased. And I did buy more than one. And it was kind of funny. Me and my friend Alan Rue, a.k.a. the Comic Viking, check him out on YouTube as well. We were in the store and talking about him. I told him I wasn't going to get one. And we both got really curious. And I told him to buy one and open one. And he told me to buy one and open one. And we went back and forth. And eventually he opened his. And we saw what was inside. And I'm like, oh, awesome. That's amazing. And he's like, well, what do you think's in yours? I'm like, I don't know, probably the same thing. And then the LCS owners pointed out, unless it's not the same thing. So I said, screw it. I opened mine and looked, and it was in fact the same thing. What is going on, Ryan? And and then we ended up buying more, knowing now what is on the inside of these. So I'm going to go and bust this one that I have already opened. So inside these poly-bagged Deceased you have, and for all the Deceased fans, you're going to want to go out, especially tomorrow, and grab these, because these are none other than, there's the exclusivity on the back of it. They are the Matina variants that are no longer the B covers. So for those that have been collecting and keeping up with Deceased, these Matina ones have kind of been the go-to for a lot of people, including myself. They've done them for all 3 volumes. All of a sudden now with this volume, they're not doing them. There was a 1-in-25 ratio variant and the polybag version. Same cover. It's just the ratio variant has the minimal trade dress on it. So these polybags are going to want to be must grabs for a lot of people.
Yeah, I was looking in the DC Connect, and it's not in there. To be fair, I don't even think the regular covers are in this Connect, and this is for October solicitation. So it can maybe be, you know, being that a lot of people die in this series, you know, it's a spoiler to put those variants up a little early, but yeah, it's looking like they're not going to do it, because I also checked Previews World and I couldn't find any more Matina covers.
Oh, wow. What is going on, Geek Out with Roscoe? What is going on? The White Shadow himself. That man exploded on the YouTubes this past week. Everyone's whispering the name White Shadow.
Who does the Matina covers?
Matina,
Oh,
Francisco
yeah.
Matina.
Oh.
Yeah, that's his name.
I just thought it was like a material or something.
No, that's
No,
Francisco Matina.
it's no. I don't think they have another cover because the 1 in 25 for 3 is a Steve Beach one. The 1 in 50 is a Sun Kamanaki, um, Mary Marvel. So these are like the covers that they have in the catalog.
Over there. Hold on. I'm going to be so sad if they just won off the Matinas for this series. You know, they had the direct to the app series, the prequel.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't a prequel series; it was a filling in the gap series, and it only on physical copy. It only came out in a hardback edition, but they even did the Black Adam Matina zombie variant for the cover of the hardback. So it's really like messing with the completionist in me. You know, I want my whole series, my whole set to really match. But talking more on the series, what it is, this is the final volume of like the really successful mini series that's happened called Deceased. Tom Taylor's written them from the very beginning, and here's actually that 1 in 25. I did pick it up, and it's the final arc to it. We've got the New Gods involved as well as Darkseid involved. That is not spoilers on any level. It's literally the cover of the A, and I won't get into spoilers, but obviously Supergirl is on there, and the solicitation, as well as Tom Taylor's posts that we're going to be getting some Supergirl action in this, as well as an interesting origin for her, because this is taking place in its own universe. That's a weird thing to do, Steve. Coming from somebody who's already read issue 1, I would suggest not doing that. Highly suggest not.
Why would you skip the finale?
Yeah, why would you skip the end of the story?
Maybe the middle, but not the end. It's like, yeah, I don't think anything is important is going to happen in this one. I'll just wait till the following one.
I want to tell you right now, this first issue blew me away. Like, not necessarily on like the individual issue compelling part, but what they did with this story. Like, the events of this first issue, setting up how this is going to go. I kind of got something that I like as a kid during the reign of the Superman era. There was something that I was so convinced about. This as a kid, you know, the gimmicks really work on kids, and that's a part of what they're meant for. I was so hyped and so certain about something during that era, and this issue actually, I think Tom Taylor played with that fandom a little bit and brought it to reality, at least for this universe. And I absolutely was like, yes, this is amazing.
That's dope. I do think it's a little weird that like every writer seems to use like the introduction of Supergirl as like a key event.
Yeah.
This was the case in Injustice, which also like Tom Taylor wrote the adaptations for. Young Justice, the big tease at the end of this last season was Mary Marvel and Supergirl.
That was amazing in the bus, that moment. Finally, yeah. Mary, you didn't know it was Mary the whole time, and she's just like Shazam. I'm like, what just happened?
So there's some really cool things. I just think it's an interesting device. It's kind of like the evil Superman thing, where it's like what if it's what happens when this Kryptonian gets introduced? But I think it is a good device because it's like, in most of these worlds there's a Superman established, so it's cool to kind of be like, hey, like, what if there was a character that both sides are fighting for?
Yeah, that's really dope. Brian, have you picked up any, or have you hit any of your reads yet for today?
No, I haven't read anything yet.
Well, you're in for a decent week, my man. Definitely in for a decent week. Are you planning on reading Deceased? I know you read that last one where Constantine was really our primary focus, right? Where he took on the entire universe on his own, basically, heroes and good guys. To hell with all of them. He had a plan, and he was going to follow through with it.
The only Deceased I've ever read is, I don't know. I read like the first issue of one of the series.
Yeah. Chris, you read the last Deceased run, didn't you? Where Constantine went on a warpath. He wasn't infected. Like, John Constantine decided on his own that magic is the way to solve this, that magic will be the way. And mine's right there, Flo. Hell yeah. Yep. But he actually took off and tried to go on a mission, and if you didn't agree with him, he took it. By the end of it, he was wearing the helmet of fate. He was carrying like Superman's staff. Like he had all these magic pendants, and he was like the ultimate magic being with all of it, and just coming to save the day. It was dope. But real quick, Alan Rue did a little looking into it. Looks like number 2 will have a Matina 1 in 25, but 3 does not. So that's going to make it even worse if it's not even just the whole run or the first one. It's just one random issue.
I wouldn't be surprised if maybe they're holding, maybe it's a character they haven't revealed yet, so maybe they're holding to kind of, and it's a big seller. That's why it has so many covers. So I wouldn't be surprised if they pulled it out of nowhere, but right now it's not looking great. And what do you think of the Green Lantern story?
So next, let's talk that one next. Let me pin this real quick. Pin message. There we go. So we got another little installment in Worlds Without a Justice League today. This is the tie-ins for the Dark Crisis, kind of letting us know where all of the heroes that fell in Justice League 75 are at currently. And today's one-shot featured John Stewart Green Lantern as well as Hawkgirl. I enjoyed it as a singular read comic, at least the John Stewart one, because it really didn't move the needle in one way or another as far as like a big event stuff goes. Like with the Superman one and the Aquaman one, we got like maybe 1 or 2 panels that felt like hints toward bigger stuff. This was a really solid single issue story, though. It didn't feel connected in any way to anything else. The Hawkgirl one was fire.
Yeah, the Hawkgirl one had more connection than the actual story fire. To the larger
fire. Kendra was tough.
I do like maybe this is a theme going throughout the one shots, but I like how it kind of feels like these heroes are almost in these not perfect versions, because the Tom King one was pretty dark, but like these versions of their world where, like John, is with his family. And then, in the Superman one, Kal-El gets to see Jonathan grow up. So I do think, I wonder if that's going to be the through line throughout all these one shots.
Yeah, this was formatted the same, because the Superman, we had that story, but there was that line of dialogue that Clark said. He said, "I didn't miss it this time." Like whether he's aware of it or not, subconsciously, he knows that he's not in reality. I didn't miss it this time. I got to see him grow up. Like, you guys got goosebumps again. That really did hit me in the feels. But with the Aquaman back up in that issue, he snapped out of it. Like it wasn't able to hold him. He snapped out of it and issued a threat, and he was coming for the bad guys. The Kendra one of this I thought was dope. The message that they're playing with in the Hawkgirl one, that was actually some really deep, shout out to Pocan Joe, philosophical stuff that they were talking about. Like, I can't remember which one they talked about. Oh, what's going on? Gatsby's up in the chat. I haven't seen him on YouTube in forever. But shout out to Gatsby. I picked this up from him at Heroes Con. Very trusted seller. But they were playing with this concept, that was very philosophical. It's like someone said something about living. You're not really living unless like death is involved, kind of thing. You can't live without the inevitability of death. And being that Kendra's immortal, she's not able to truly live her life. So it was something that they like really unpack and get into. I thought it was pretty dope.
Yeah, I like these this one shot format. This is actually the only like Dark Crisis stuff I've been reading. Just because I think I said this on the last show. I didn't read Justice League Incarnate, so I feel like a little bit like behind on some of the like setup and stuff. So I'm like, you know what? I'll wait till it's all collected, and I either read it on DC Infinite, or if they come out with a huge hardcover, I'll get that.
And you get more from it if you did, but I swear you're not going to be lost if you didn't, because of the free comic book day and the Road 2 book. They preface it perfectly. The entire cast of Justice League Incarnate and stuff, you see them wiped out along with the Justice League in JL 75. It's really
the spoilers, Dick.
That's really the. I mean, you read. That's 70. That was like months ago.
I know that was a couple months ago. That's on me. I actually have that book. A great acetate cover, too.
For Justice. Yeah, same here. Yeah. So DC with the proper use of acetate covers.
Were we saying that this doesn't deserve a good acetate? Like,
I think it does, but I think that Marvel would see differently.
Yeah. Yeah, this is real. I don't fake any of my stuff. So yeah. Even
Is
if it
that the
does
Clayton
pay
Crane one,
tribute.
or is that the
Yeah.
second print?
Nope, it's a Clayton Crane.
That's
So
the one they
From
originally.
from KRS Comics. Yeah.
KRS had a good deal. They had a free. I mean, obviously you had to pay for shipping, but they had that thank you variant, which is pretty cool. I ordered that.
Yeah, I got one. Their Canadian partner that they have up here, they did the exact same thing. So I
Mutant
managed
Beaver?
to get one. No, I don't think it was Mutant Beaver this
Comic
time.
Kingdom?
It was probably Comic Kingdom. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that shop. I've gotten
Mhm.
some Jang books from them. What is this cover that everyone's talking about? This thank you cover?
So it's a Miles Morales. It's a Miles Morales. I think it's 37, 38. Yeah, well, it's still a couple months off or whatever. And is it Carl New that did the cover? If you just give me a sec. Yeah, it's a cover where Miles is sitting down and Gwen is right beside him, like kind of leaning in to speak to him. I'll pull it up right now.
And just in case you're getting in here late, House of L, I got the 1 in 25 as well. But the Matina Virgin Supergirl one with an exclusive back cover to it that addresses it is in the body bag poly bag. So if you're at your shops and you're not able to get that Matina ratio variant or don't want to pay for it, the Matina body bag ones, I'm pretty sure, are cover price books. That's what's in those body bags.
I apologize. It was Mutant Beaver that is the Canadian partner for it, but it's a Life is Beautiful. So
That's
it
the
looks
free
like
book?
so you can see Spider-Ham is sitting there beside Gwen, who's got her arm around Miles in front of him a mural with the city in the background.
Yeah, that's still not bad. Just pay $8.50 to get it shipped.
So yeah, it's Flo was right. It's issue 41, and Ivan Tao is the artist. And they're saying that it's a $25 value, which seems about right for an exclusive variant.
Yeah,
and it's just one per person, and I managed to get my hands on a copy.
Did you build up your order a little bit, or just hit that one book and done?
I've given them thousands of dollars, so I'm good with just the one, and on that I didn't build up anything else. But I did use a code for the shipping though.
Yeah.
Nice.
I think it was a rough weekend for variants, so I think probably the one is just enough right now.
It's cool to see the other exclusive dealers coming out saying we're giving this away for free as a thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
And by the way, it's Miles. Just hint everybody.
Yeah. Oh, here's another one from this week that could actually lead into a little bit more discussion to unpack. We got the movie photo variant, which it truly is TV photo variant on the front and back cover of the Sandman, and it looks like it's just reprinting issue 1. Maybe I haven't really opened it up till right this second to look.
I think it's a special edition.
I'll say if you hold it up, I'll tell you right away.
It has a there's an excerpt from the first chapter, so like it does have parts of the first book. But I think it's a special edition that actually might have like a new story in it or something.
Yeah, because at the very last page it says to be continued in the Sandman Book 1 graphic novel. So when it doesn't have the little normal credits in the front, Chris, here we go. The Sandman #1 special edition, October 22. Yeah, it looks like just a special edition. Originally published as Sandman 1, copyright 1988. So there we go.
Yeah.
But these are free at your shops. Like I didn't realize that till my LCS owner commented on my new comic book day video I posted last Saturday. But these were free, so I nabbed one of these. I mentioned in that video that I like these movie photo variants and stuff. I don't know why, but yeah.
And it was just that version, no other upgraded version for free. No acetate, no sticker, no hologram, no holofoil on it.
Nah, man.
Okay.
Not this one. I will say I like DC's done pretty well with these kind of like reprints and stuff. Like I love the Long Halloween one they made for the Batman movie.
Yeah.
like I think they're doing a good job of trying to tie some of these things back to the comics, which I think is really important. And you haven't really seen that with like Marvel movies lately.
Was that polybagged?
No.
The Sandman? No.
No, it's just I just have it bagged and boarded already. That's pretty cool. I heard it's good. I haven't watched it yet. That is I still have that somewhere. What was crazy is that Sonic gave away a free comic. When I went to see Sonic 2, I'm like, well, I've never been to a Marvel movie and they gave me a free comic. Why am I getting a free Sonic comic? Which was cool.
So did any of y'all catch any of the show itself yet? I've watched 3.5 episodes. The kids woke up in episode 4 on me, and I'm like, yeah, this ain't gonna fly, no sir.
Yeah, just first episode for me.
I love Boyd Holbrook, who was in Logan, and he was also in Narcos. I do want to see his performance.
The guy playing Nightmare?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. He's a really good actor, and I wish he was in more stuff. So I'm actually gonna go watch that because confession, I've never read Sandman.
No, I haven't either.
Oh
yeah,
so. It came out in 1980. I was born in the late 80s. That's one that I was more than aware of growing up, and being little and seeing them, it just looked like a lot for my mind's eye. The superheroes drew me in. The gimmick covers got me and stuff like that. But Sandman, that was just a lot, just the art alone. Ryan, you're strangely quiet.
I was just listening to y'all.
There's no Tom King book this week, so there's really nothing
to
talk about.
Unfortunately, yeah. But we do have the One Bad Day on the way. That 8-issue series. And the first one will be a Tom King one. Different creators on every issue, but yeah.
The covers for that first one is really good.
Looks like Alan just got him one of those Miles books we were just talking about.
Yeah, that's good.
Let's move over to one that I know Ryan's going to be reading real quick. The next issue, it'll be issue 14 of Superman, Son of Kal-El, also from Tom Taylor. For the past few issues, I've been talking about how it's definitely a well-done book, and I feel like it's getting long in the tooth. It's just spinning its tires in place. The same problem that I had with Cantwell's Iron Man run. It's just the same story, and we're 14 issues in now. I'm exactly where Chris was because I jumped off Iron Man at 8, and now here I am at 14 when I was asking him what he was still doing on it. But it's Superman, so I'm going to hang in there, and I've done figured it out. The timing and the structuring of all this, they didn't really prepare enough stories for this run because they're clearly waiting on the return of Clark to Earth. That's right around the corner. So this story is just timing out to bookend and then lead right into that, because this is the issue, no spoilers, all solicitations and cover here, where they're finally taking the fight to Bendix. President Bendix over in Gamora has been the issue this whole time. He's actually on that. He's the character, the villain himself is originally from Stormwatch in the Wildstorm universe, which there's some clever dialogue in here where one panel you get the word watch referring to something, not a timekeeping piece, and also the word storm. Like they use the watchtower and then storm shield right behind each other. And I'm just like, ha, 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 I got it. I
understood that reference.
Yeah, exactly. This one, they start the actual confrontation we've been waiting on since really at least issue 6. But there has been highs amongst this, the flatness of dragging it out. The dynamic with the characters always spot on in this. But we're finally into the end game, for lack of a better words here.
I kind of felt that there's been good storytelling, especially the first arc. I kind of feel like the timing of the release of this comic book, initially, looking at everything that's happened so far, has really hurt it. If this book would have been released, say 5 months later, we'd only be at issue 8. And without the drama of everything that's happening in the DC universe or the extended universe, that way with Crisis and everything that's happened, it would be so much more compact storytelling. It's exactly what you said. Cantwell's Iron Man faulted for other reasons up to issue 13, but this one I kind of feel like it's suffering because of everything that's happening. So if it would have started a little bit later, it would have been so much better, because the first arc, I know, outside of Flo, but the three of us enjoyed it right off the bat. And that's right when Clark was getting ready to go and left, and it was great storytelling. And then it's just filler, like you said. The tires have been spinning in the same spot because everything else has had to be realized, and what's happening in the DC universe, a la Crisis and everything that's happened before it. So I kind of wonder if it would have started 5 months later, would you feel the way you do right now about it?
I don't know. Like for me, I think you know, the reason the first Dark Crisis one shot was really good, because I think, you know, the stories that need to be told for John are the years they skipped. Right now, it feels very much like you know, yes, it's a Superman book, but you know, I think there is a Superman book, so you want kind of like a Superboy. You want those kind of stories to be told. And for me, I like the first arc. And, you know, I felt like it ran out of gas there. I feel like, you know, conceptually, like none of the stories really have like, I mean, they're good, they're well written, but, you know, it's not something I rush to. It's just in my pool at this point. It's there. You know, sometimes I read an issue and then I'm like, oh, that's okay and stuff. But I really feel they missed out on years of stories and possibly years of building up, you know, John as a character. With that time skip. So and who knows, you know, with the changes that are going on there, if they're going to look at that character and be like, hey, do we age him back? Do we do like a super
Crisis really have the ability to do whatever they want coming out of it. That's what's cool about event books. Like in terms of where event books are different at DC than they are at Marvel, typically an event book at DC is on a cosmic level, you know, on a universe shaking level. And that's not just because they're always trying to reboot. Their characters are on a different level than the Marvel characters are. You know, just an average DC character is like a god tier character. That's just the different operations of the universes themselves. They play with bigger stakes at hand. But real quick, I want to go back to House of L's comment. He did say he heard about the Superman Death 30th anniversary gold foil last night and hopes he can get one. I did share those on my Instagram and in some of the groups. Big Time Collectibles, they have this ability with DC Comics to actually do chrome and foil covers, where DC and Marvel both don't normally do that for exclusives. And they'll be celebrating the anniversary stuff coming up with some exclusives that they've been teasing. So they haven't done all the detail announcement drops for it, but be sure to follow them and be watching, because if you're a DC fan or a Superman fan, you're not going to want to miss this event, because there's even going to be an introduction of a new character that's going to be happening in one of those books that are dropping. I think his name is Doomslayer, I believe.
It'll be good for a hot minute.
Huh?
I said it'll be good for a hot minute.
Now, I think it'd be fun for that event. I'm not expecting anything to be a long-lasting anything, but this is going to be new material that they're bringing to the table with the original creative team from The Death of Superman. So it's just like with the Marvel books right now. Those retro books are the one I'm enjoying the most outside of Punisher and Ghost Rider. You know, there's nothing else they've got that interests me. But so we're getting the retro team on a new book. You know, that's a good formula for anything, you know. Last book that was on my pull list from DC this week, Jurassic League issue number 4 of 6. So that last issue was kind of, for me, the stinker of the run so far. I enjoyed 1 and 2 a lot. That third one just felt rushed and mushed together. So maybe this one will have a little space to breathe. This is one I have not had a chance to read yet, most likely because of how I felt about the last issue. Sounds like
I'm interested to see how that issue turns out, because I thought the first one fell a little short, but the second one really made up for itself. But that last issue, it was kind of not great at all.
There it is. Doombreaker. Appreciate that, Roger.
So I am interested to see if number 4 can save this series.
I respect DC for providing stories for the LGBTQ plus community, and I don't have an issue with something like that. I just feel some of the characters coming out is forced. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Representation matters and is important, and it's never okay to use that as a selling point. That's taking advantage of that community at that point. So if you're not respecting the story and the characters, you're not doing them a service. You're actually doing them harm, in my opinion. And yeah, so I completely feel that. Forced or just swap characters for the sake of swapping them. If you don't have the story to back it up and really deliver it, did you really help them? Are you really being an advocate, or are you just trying to play a money game? So that's a fine line. And if you're a good writer, you know how to do it properly. If you're not, you're like, who are you helping?
Well, you just need to invest in it properly. I feel like they make these big changes. There's a big marketing push about the issue of the character coming out, and then 5-10 issues later the series is canceled and they never talk about those things again. So like you said, it's a little bit of a disservice. And some of the people they're marketing these books to, it's hard to get into a comic book store, and some comic book shops, like we were talking about Burke's channel last night, are not very welcoming places. So I think you have to figure out a way to get these books in the right hands, whether it be partnerships with schools, libraries. I think what DC is doing with Webtoon is a really good way to kind of get your characters in front of like different sets of eyes, and hopefully kids grow up with that. But
and then they did that whole young adult graphic novel line, like a whole line of young adult stuff where they're just come out in graphic novels, like I Am Not Starfire and the Aquaman book about Jackson Hyde. Every single one of them were intentionally LGBTQ plus specific and heavy, and they're outside of continuity and just stand on their own kind of thing. And all of those tanked. Every single one of them tanked if you look at the numbers. So that's where you kind of really got to ask yourself, is that community screaming for recognition or feeling unrecognized when they're not buying the books that are made for them and they're still just reading what's out there? They're not showing up for those titles. So what is, like, from a sales level, what does that tell you? Because you have to look at what you're putting out and how the people respond with dollars, right? So
for me, I've always gathered when it comes to the comic book form of a character, whatever their sexual orientation is, the bigger whole doesn't care. But when that one of those characters goes to the big screen, that's when they want representation. And that's always been my problem with it. And like Mark said, it seems it's often it gets forced. Like, okay, so we have a character X that's been published for 15 years, say. Now this character is going to be making an appearance in one of the big films that's coming out. Well, guess what? Now we're going to make that person, or we're going to make that character out of the closet. That they're going to come out in whichever way they feel they need to, whichever way it needs to be representation, just to sort of please the masses. But the masses, from my experience in reading comic books, it's never been like, where is the person in the comic or whatever. It always seems like there's always creators who are of that community. They write their own comics and it comes out that way. For instance, James Tynion, it seems like almost every one of Tynion's creations right now seems to have a character that is like that. Mm-hmm. But when it comes to the superhero game, it always seems like, in my opinion, that no one really cares what their orientation is, because orientation rarely has
it's their attributes
in the story. It's usually
here's a couple things.
You don't really get that much in their personal life outside of, say, Spider-Man, Batman.
To touch on the comment there, I don't think you should put numbers above people in inclusion. It's a matter of, like we point out, how you're doing it. I don't think the story should suffer for it. That's where it kind of falters, and then it's no longer like kind of pushing to the good. You know what I mean? Like, there's plenty of good writers that do it, i.e. Jackson Hyde has been around for years. No one was ever tripping about it because they didn't really make a stink about it, put it in the public spotlight. Hey, look at me. Look at us being inclusionary. I think
not
the company,
like North Star.
Yeah, the company, like, using it as a power play over their intention. You know what I mean? I think that's where it gets a little touchy. I don't think that the numbers come first. I think that the numbers let you know how well you did at doing it, is what I'm saying. And if you're not performing well at doing it, do it better. Don't not do it. That means this was not the way that it's done. Let's look at more successful routes, because there's plenty of characters that have been around and stuff like that. And to this point, yeah, I had an awesome moment like this when my oldest daughter, who's in her younger teens, first watched Endgame, and that scene at the end when the all-female cast lined up. That moment, it's like she had a moment so hard that she had a happy tear coming down her eye. So that lets you know, like, yeah, inclusion does matter. It's definitely important, and doing it right counts. You don't get to try to do one of those just to be gimmicky. It's not using people's identity and their representation is not a chrome cover. You don't get to gimmick it. Is the point we're making. And Tynan is a great example. Like that community is represented in all of his work, and he is a phenomenal writer. Read Department of Truth. It the fact that your main character is a gay man is not is not the essence of Cole Turner. That's not the essence. That's it's who he is, and you keep moving. It doesn't make him special. He's just a human like everybody else.
No, he's a jerk. Yeah,
and then look at Nice House. Every single character in that book is in the community, and it doesn't make the book. The book is just that's not even what you're focusing on. It's people know how to do it correctly, and then some people are just like, look at me, I'm an advocate.
It's not forced, right? That's just it. It's not forced. It's organic. It's natural. The characters are coming through naturally.
Oh, dude, you're fine to distract. It's perfectly fine. To be fair, I Am Starfarer was just bad. And this is coming from a gay person. Also, the young adult comic titles are a different format that was experimented to begin with, trying to get a new audience. Yeah, that's what I was saying. I wonder what that says for the quality of it. That's what I'm saying. How you point out it was just bad. Had it been good,
it may have been celebrated.
Yeah. As a minority, someone who enjoys heavy metal music, it's true. They say go metal, go broke. But I appreciate that. Marvel still put out metalhead books from time to time.
Spider-Punk.
Yeah. It's all comic combo. Yeah, feel free. Like this channel is an open format channel. Like everybody's entitled to their opinion. The only time that I'll ever try to calm somebody down is if they're attacking an individual and not an individual's argument. Feel free to attack anybody's argument, however spirited you want to, just not the individual. Lastly,
is there any other DC book? Oh, no, I was going to say, I wanted to plug Young Justice Targets. Issue 3 is on the DC Infinite app, which I read this morning, and it is also amazing. So that is one book. That one.
So I'm behind on it because I bid it. I get it floppy.
Oh, yeah, you're behind too, because now it's on issue 3. But we have the artists on the Bada Boom podcast. So if you want to talk, hear that, head over to YouTube.
Thanks for coming to my TED Talk, LOL. Exactly. And I did pick up a random back issue of this awesome Jay Lee Namor cover that'll be going into the this month's member giveaway that y'all saw. I have that Black Panther #1 CGC 9.8 Alex Ross cover, as well as that what issue is it? The first Tosin is in the giveaway. It's Submariner
issue 3.
Yeah, so it's Black Panther themed with some keys in there, as well as exclusives from Big Time Collectibles to celebrate the trailer that came out that just emotionally got me in my feels. But I also picked this up for myself today. This was Swamp Thing issue #1 from the Scott Snyder run, signed by Scott Snyder from Mr. Flo's LCS of all places. It found its way down here to Georgia and then to my LCS.
Is that Yannick Paquette that did the work for that one?
Yes, sir, it is. Look at that.
Good eye.
I think that was a good memory.
I think I'm going to read that. I just read Remender's Uncanny X-Force, which was amazing. So now I want to dive into another run. I'll probably dive into that Swamp Thing.
That run was actually really, really good in my opinion. For some reason, I'm thinking that was a limited series as well. I might be wrong, but I thought it maybe it just didn't last that long. But yeah, that was. There's been some duds when it comes to Swamp Thing after Alan Moore's run, but the Snyder Paquette combo, that was a good run.
I wonder if they'll make a season 3 of Rom V Swamp Thing. I think we're like a couple weeks from the last issue of that. So
yeah, the final issue's coming. So I was talking about that 2 weeks ago or 2 Sundays ago on At Week's End. They announced that extension when we had like 4 issues left to go. They haven't announced an extension, but they did announce that they're adding that one shot, that Dark Crisis tie-in one shot that's going to be Swamp Thing related. So I wonder if that. I think that this Dark Crisis thing is shifting up a lot of stuff. You know, they went ahead and cut Aquaman, they cut Suicide Squad, they cut Teen Titans. They haven't made any announcements on these characters where they're going. Teen Titans are heavily involved in the Crisis. Suicide Squad has like the 2 separate Earth things going on right now. And you know, in the event of a crisis, you know, Amanda Waller's going to find her way in there for an event book. You know, they're because they didn't call it that, but that Legends series, that event Legends in the 80s, inside the pages of that book, it was called a crisis, but it wasn't branded that because, you know, an event book and a crisis are one and the same. So everybody go and put hashtag.
Mark, are you talking about this?
Let me see what you're looking at here. Yeah, there's first appearance of Miranda Waller right there.
Y'all know how I feel about Ms. Waller.
I love her. One of the best DC villains.
She is so good. So good.
So yeah, let's see what this giveaway is again, in case you weren't here at the beginning, to celebrate the existence of false comics and crappy acetates. We have some good ones, some official acetates from DC Comics. This is the Batman 125 acetate, which is the first start of Chip Zdarsky's run and the first appearance of Failsafe. And then to celebrate today's deceased dropping, we have the Kale New B cover acetate for Deceased War of the Undead Gods. So these will be going to one lucky winner, United States shipping only, because that's just the way it is today.
Come on, Chris.
I just dropped. There's a caveat. There always is on this channel. If you are a channel member and you do not live in the States and you win, it will get to you because, believe it or not, for those that don't know, the channel members, a lot of community members, we actually pool stuff together that they won or we have to send to people because we kind of know them from the community, and we actually save money by grouping stuff together and sending them big packages all at once every now and then. We got people in Australia that watch, India that watch, and stuff like that. So that's the way we do it. So we're still being cheap about it. Let me share my screen right here.
Laughing at Chip. Amazing how is everything sitting right beside him. It's true.
Now, Chris took a page out of my book for that. So let's see here. We got 15 entries. We got 20 people watching. If you want to get in, hashtag DC, get in quick. I'm going to spin it in just a minute here. These are official covers done by DC themselves. Boom, boom. So we got as many people as I think we're going to get in there. So I'm going to go ahead and spin this bad boy in 3, 2, there it went. And the winner of the Acetate-Gate giveaway for today is going to Blue Hellion Comics, a channel member. Congratulations, Dan. Appreciate you. Appreciate your support. Appreciate that. Staple count. Let me get a staple count right here. Let's see. 1, 2. We only have 2 staples per book. I know that selling it short, Eman. Dan, if you want, I can throw some extra staples in them. I know that's a thing now. People love those staples. But we're going to get these to Blue Hellion Comics. My fortune cookie last night said I was going to be the lucky. Fingers crossed. Oh, so Chris has got a giveaway. Here we go.
I'm just saying this is the real one. This is the real one. I can't give away a Marvel book on a DC show.
You can give away whatever you want anytime. I'm happy to talk Marvel too, but we're always going to cover DC first. I do have other books dropping this week. That new Ghost Rider
sweet
anniversary
Jesus, that's
special.
hot.
Yeah, with the first appearance of a new character called the Tattooist. This is going to be kind of a reminiscing book, and they're going to take us on a journey of where Johnny Blaze has been in this missing time and everything. New Power Rangers is dropping, which is the last issue of this series before that Road to 100 is finally reached. And then lastly for me, I have Punisher from Marvel. But more importantly than that, the final book of my pickup is Liam Sharp's this magnificent, fabulous, mind-blowing series Starhenge that kicked off and blew my mind. That second issue is coming out. And it's called Book 1, Issue 2. So I don't know how long he has this planned, but if you guys are not picking that up, go back, get that issue 1. You will not regret it. You will not regret it at all. I'm willing to do a giveaway if you guys would be cool with that. I'm absolutely cool with that. So for those that don't know, this is Gatsby's Comics on Instagram. He's a fantastic trusted seller that I met a sell on Burke Family 54's stream, and picked up a book from him, and then actually ran into him at Heroes Con and got to talk to him for a while and stuff, and picked up a book I've been after for a while. Yeah, just throw it into the chat what you want to give away, my man, and people can just hit you up on Instagram to give you their shipping information. I can just run the giveaway again. I still have it up here on this other tab.
Chip's saying that he saw like Ghost Rider 1 at the con. What did they have? Advanced copies?
They might have. He was just at the con this weekend. I saw a certain
I know
artist.
where he was.
Yeah, I had a certain artist that I follow. I bought a book from a con, right? That was from his artist booth, and then the book went on sale at the con that started the next weekend. So he had his copies, I'm assuming. Found him on IG. I'm calling. Let's see. People keep talking smack about these staples, but I'm trying to attach this plastic so I can re-release my book with glue stick, and this crap ain't working. Yeah, I can send you a picture on Instagram, and then you can put it up so people can see what it is. Do it. Go for it. I'll pull it up. Meow. Let's get this going, and we'll get another. Yeah, when you send it to me, I'll put it on up there. I'm going to go ahead while you're doing that. I'm going to put a link in the chat to get directly to your Instagram for whoever is for people who are watching, so they can go ahead and give you a follow as well. Copy link. That's these. Flo, what's the you're going to NYCC, right?
Yeah.
When is that?
In October. I think October 7th through the 10th or 9th. It's always like the first weekend of October. But yeah, I'm going all 4 days. I haven't seen any like crazy exclusives announced yet. I know last year was awesome. It was the first year back, and like there weren't that many people there because of obvious reasons. And it was the first time I could do like a cartwheel on the show floor in like 10 years. So
Did you do said cartwheel?
I did.
100% up to you, brother. 100% up to you.
But I'm excited. You know, there's right now a lot of the guests. It seems like it's more comic focused this year. So we have a lot of artists and stuff like that. The only like big celebrity they've announced is like Freddie Prinze Jr.
I thought you said big celebrity.
I mean, he's pretty big in my book. Have you seen the classic Scooby-Doo?
He was the Marvel fan cast to play Captain America. He was the original Marvel fan cast for Captain America. If you read Ultimates issue 1 or issue whatever, volume 1, when they were fan casting each other, if they were going to be in a movie, they had Freddie Prinze for Steve Rogers. They had Steve Buscemi for Banner. They had Sam Jackson for Nick Fury.
Yeah, 20 years ago, he was pretty big.
Yeah.
So
what was the Wing Commander? That nearly Oscar-nominated sci-fi movie with Matthew Lillard and Freddie Prinze Jr. Wing Commander.
He's he's obviously Kanan in Rebels. Yeah, my sister was a huge Scooby-Doo fan when she was a kid, so I think I might get a photo with him. I hope they have like the cast of Peacemaker. I didn't get a photo with John Cena last year, and I regret it.
Oh man, I would love to meet some of those guys. I bet they're a blast in real life. You can't be like a stick in the mud and be able to pull off that performance in there.
Yeah, the guy who plays Vigilante was in at a con in Jersey, and I was like this close, this close to going to Jersey just for that.
Yeah, I would love to check that out.
Yeah, so get your list ready.
Are you chasing any bigger books while you're there?
Not really. Like right now, like honestly, like I got my Hawkman 4 at the beginning of the year, so like everything else has kind of been like additive. Like I would love like a first appearance of like Nightwing. I'm gonna play it by ear there. Like I
you don't
really
have
want
a first appearance of Nightwing?
No. Not yet. But I was gonna probably get like a graded copy. But hopefully I spend it on lines for acetate covers. I'm just gonna like document my whole time there, and just be like Chip. I'm gonna have one YouTube video on my Flow channel, just me online.
Have you seen that video has exploded?
Yeah,
I looked at it earlier too. It's like over 4,300 views. It's like, my God, Chip, well deserved.
Nice. And that's the Perez label.
Oh yeah,
that's
this one's mine. Yeah, this is my keeper. I got this one after I'd submitted this one. I came across it in one of the honey holes. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna have to grab another one.
Yeah, it's good to double up on that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I actually picked up the whole Judas contract art when I got this one, all 4 issues of the Judas contract.
Chip's video is funny because like all the people that made videos on his video are angrier than he is. So, I was like, well, he was cut in line. He should be pretty upset. So
what is going on, Chris? This is the newest channel member, Chris. If you have Instagram, and if anybody is a channel member and has not already, hit me up on Instagram if you haven't got your new member welcome pack. I do send out a welcome pack with a little thank you message in there with stickers and swag and magnets and stuff like that. So definitely hit me up on Instagram so I can get your shipping information and get those out to you.
Do you know who Chris is? Like, do you know anything about him? Like how he could possibly be related to me?
That's you?
That's my LCS owner.
Oh, I did not know that. Like, you're Chris. That's Chris. I didn't know if you were doubling down for
we are taking over Legion of Chris's. But yeah, Chris is him and his wife own Retro Rocket Comics, the place I go every Wednesday for my comic shop, and I think it's cool. Chris now watches your stuff, and your LCS owner, him and his wife get to spend some time. And they watch my stuff too.
All right, Chris. Since I now know where you're located, what I'm going to do is I'm going to mail your welcome pack to this Chris because I know how to get it to you easier than shipping it to Canada. Because this Chris has a U.S. postal box.
Scoundrel.
Not a scoundrel. Not a scoundrel at all. Oh, Gatsby sent me the pictures. Holy potatoes. Oh, he's not playing. Hold on, you guys. Gatsby's looking out for y'all. We're about to run this giveaway from this was ridiculously kind of you, man. Let me pull up the share screen here. So Gatsby is going to be giving away that right there, Batman number 50. And it looks like he's including one of the Gatsby comic stickers, unless that's just on there for the advertising. I don't want to assume anything, but there's the back of it, the Forbidden Planet exclusive.
Wow. Holy
crap. Variant cover edition is presented by Forbidden Planet.
That is sweet.
Dude, that is ridiculously awesome.
Oh, man.
He's coming with a gorgeous DC book. So just for the sake of if anybody jumped out since the last one, I don't want them to win and not be here to say I won. Put in hashtag Gatsby, and we'll get this thing going to its new home. Thanks again, Joseph, man. That was really, really cool of you, man. Now, I'm not going to enter the giveaway, but Chris, Flo, y'all feel free to if y'all want to.
No, you don't have to tell me.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that thing is super dope. And y'all definitely, I pinned his comment. Like, that was really cool of him to do. Go give him a follow. If you're on Instagram, give him a follow. You know, you never know. You might find something that you've been looking for a long time. And even if you follow and don't keep up, those follows still help people out, especially him who is keeping comics up for sale and he's running a business. That those follows really help get it more eyes on his stuff.
I've never seen.
What is going on, Mars? How are you? Lisa Noble is another awesome channel member up in the building.
I've never seen that.
Gary, I will get your welcome pack to you. I'm just going to go ahead and put it in the car today. This is one of the locals here in Augusta that joined the channel. And real quick, there are a lot of channel members in here. I don't know if everybody saw the I haven't posted it online yet, but I did share this while everyone's getting time to enter this giveaway. This is what's included in the members giveaway sponsored by Big Time Collectibles for this month. It'll be given away the first Sunday of next month. We have the MegaCon exclusive for what was it called? Not Something That's Killing the Children, the other one, the spinoff.
House of Slaughter.
House of Slaughter number 6 MegaCon exclusive right there.
Awesome.
And then we have a Spider-Gwen number 2 David Nakayama Virgin variant.
Ooh, awesome.
Then we have a Spider-Man 2099 Exodus issue number 1. I want to say this is a scan, but I could be wrong. I'm probably wrong. And then we've got a Miko Suyon Lethal Protector number 1 there. That's the black and white. They call them sketch, but it's a black and white version. And then we have donated by Legal Burning. Randy himself sent some of his stuff. So we've got that hand-burned Legal Burning print there, as well as another one with Darth Vader, Darth Vader and the boys.
Oh, boy.
And then I picked these up to throw in there, because people do pay for these channel memberships. So I take that money and put it back into this giveaway. So we have the first appearance of Tosin with that gorgeous Jusko cover. So, that's spec'd out currently with the potential of him becoming the new Black Panther. And then
I wish I got the Gary Frank cover. I saw it there when the book was out, and I almost grabbed it, and I did. I regret it. The Gary Frank cover of that book.
For number 3, I don't think I saw it.
Yeah. That's so good.
And then we got Black Panther number 1, second print in a CGC 9.8 sketch cover by Alex Ross, and it's a wraparound. So what better way to present Alex Ross wraparound art than an encapsulated CGC 9.8? So all of that, as well as, and I'll get it bagged and boarded because I pulled it out of the back. This is just for funsies, because he's in the new Namor movie and Jay Lee art. I'm going to throw that in there as well, just because it was the trailer that inspired me to kind of Black Panther theme this one. So all of that will be going in the Legion loot box for this month. And let's go ahead and pull up the screen share again, and we'll give away that amazing book donated by Gatsby's Comics. Dude, I can't thank you enough again. Again, everybody, please go give him a follow if you're not already. It is pinned up in the comment section. And hit that thumbs up while I spin this wheel. Here we go. It's not a wheel, but as we see who wins this.
Oh, Mark.
Oh, I got to spin again. Hold on. There we go. That just is from where I put the hashtag in there at the beginning. Winner of that amazing book is going to be Caleb Haney. Nice. Thank you so much for entering, Caleb. As you see, whoever wins, just hit him up on Instagram with your shipping info, and he's got you covered. His Instagram is pinned in the comments. Just hit that link; it'll take you straight to it.
Yeah, the cover Flo was just talking about, that is fire. You're absolutely correct.
I recognize that now. Wasn't that a ratio?
Waterfall, or yeah?
No, that was a regular cover B.
Oh wow.
The ratio goes for a lot of money, but that one was just a regular cover B.
So was the ratio the one that has like Storm behind him and some like multiple heads on it almost?
Yeah, I got
that one goes like too. Things like in a that
there
one.
It is. Yeah, that's the one I remembered. Because Big Time Collectible keeps giving those away like candy in mystery boxes.
Yeah.
What? Really?
Yes.
Wow.
They'll have these round mystery boxes. They're like 15 grand prizes, including these 15 copies of. Dude, they love the community, man.
Right.
They make sure if you get a mystery box from them, like you can keep what you want and not lose money. That's the second print.
The second print. Yeah.
It's another good cover too. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
It's a great book. I haven't read it, but I've been collecting the covers.
So I still have my A cover from it. The day those were coming out. My I don't spec collect, but my spec collect buddy hit me up and said, "Hey, will you grab as many of those as you can that are available?" And I did, and I sent them all to him and everything. And he sent me back a 9.8 graded copy as a thank you that I raffled off. And I was intending on using those funds to go toward a Brave in the Bold, but I ended up putting them on household stuff and family stuff and this and that. But it worked out great. So he paid like 2 months of lawn maintenance guy as a thank you for picking those books up for him, basically. Like, perfect.
And he probably put his kids through college if he grabbed enough, especially when those books were specking out like crazy.
Yeah. But that's going to be it for today. We're right past the hour mark. Y'all got anything else y'all want to hit on or touch on?
Oh, no, good. It's been a pretty light week on the DC stuff, but I'm excited for tomorrow, New Comic Book Day. I'm excited to read that Ghost Rider. Also, I'm gonna pick up that James Bond book from Philip Kennedy Johnson. I was like, that's the first time I'll ever pick up like a Dynamite book.
I didn't even know they made anything other than Red Sonja and Vampirella.
Also, Predator comes out tomorrow.
Well, thank you. Yeah, Predator. Yeah, I didn't put that on my list. I was late looking at it, but I'm definitely going to check it out. I'm on cloud 9. I've read all the old Dark Horse stuff and didn't even think to jump on the Marvel stuff. Didn't even realize Philip Kennedy Johnson was doing it. And I guarantee it's probably fantastic.
Yeah. And Prey is now the most watched Hulu premiere ever. So hopefully we get another one of those. I have to watch
it. It was so good. It was so good.
People are responding to it.
Yeah. And if you're Predator hyped up, I'm sure you might enjoy checking out the Big Time Collectibles exclusive on that one as well. All right, but I'll see all you guys later. Thank y'all for jumping on, and thank you everybody in the chat for participating. And we're going to leave y'all with some. Let's go with JR today.
And you're welcome to come use one of the 8 easels we have set up for creating art here at the show for consideration for our art auctions on Saturday for our major auction at 8 p.m. at the Westin Ballroom. And the smaller auctions we'll have here on the convention floor on Sunday starting at noon.
That's a flash from the past.
So
love it.